tell you this much, bro. And if we're gonna talk about bodies of work, like if we're gonna talk about the last 3 albums, them motherfuckers should be in a museum.
I appreciate that, man.
Layers, Book of Ryan, and the Allegory. Like we didn't even talk about the Allegory, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, salute on the Grammy nod, but like probably one of the most revered albums, you know, in a time where you predicted everything that's happening right now. And if we talk about Book of Ryan, where you completely added full transparency to you. Like it was just like, well, I mean, however much transparency you felt it was, but like it was a thing that for you was like, this is a defining moment. This is a defining moment. And I felt Layers, man, you already know how I feel, but like the way Layers set up for the Book of Ryan, and then where you took it with the Allegory, that is right there. That's museum shit. That those 3 to me are flawless albums. Flawless. And that's not even talking about fucking just bars. That's not even just talking about syllable piece ups. I'm talking about like it's 3 pieces of art, and it's beautiful.
Do you feel like everybody that's just out in the world, like all the men that are out in the world, and like the ones that have like a wall to where, let's say they may be in a relationship and the person they're in a relationship with, it looks at them like, you're reserved. You're not letting me in. You know what I mean? Like you're
right.
not, you're not, it's almost like maybe you're holding back things, or I don't know certain things about you, or I don't know, you're not the greatest communicator or whatever that is. Like, do you think that that's every person that's like that is because they're private people? Like every artist that you hear, like there's some artists that you don't know anything about. You don't know anything about them. All they do is just rap about shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you think all of those artists are just private people?
No.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like I wasn't necessarily a private person coming into the game. It was just like I didn't know what my story was. I wasn't able to articulate that to you. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have minded being a transparent, open book at 20 years old. First album,
like right out the gate.
I wouldn't have minded, because I feel like every artist should have that one self-defining album. And usually when you see when an artist can come out and do that on their first album, those kind of artists usually have a really big trajectory and a long one, because they figure some shit out early.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they tapped into self. They tapped into how they feel, and at some point they were able to express how they feel. Like, and I know the first time that I was able to express through raps how I felt was like out of anger. Like I could express to you, I'm angry about something. If you piss me off, then I can come back with a rap the next week to the Ebony Showcase and then kick your ass, expressing to you why I'm kicking your ass and what you did. That was like my first time tapping into feelings. You know what I mean? But that's not the same as
tapping into self.
Something I felt about the way my dad handled something, or something I feel about my wife.
Or like losses in the family. Yeah.
Whatever. Like it used to be plenty of times, man, where it'd be like me and my girl would be sitting in the car, and like I remember, because I was like really popular. Like I'm not trying to cap, because I know every rapper says that. But I was like the cool guy in school, and my girl was kind of like she wasn't like a nerd, but she was like
focus on work.
She would be more in the weird kid category. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't, she didn't, yeah, there you go. She was fashion forward. She didn't subscribe to the popular crowd, and she didn't hang around popular people. So she's not somebody people would have expected me to be with, and I'm not somebody that she would expect for me to be with. So like for a long time, she didn't really know that we were like getting more serious. So like she would just be assuming that we not as serious as I thought that she should have just assumed we were. Because it was like we had been together all the time, every day. You know, everything about my actions said that we were serious. But since she just looked at me like, he never said it. He didn't say like, yo, you my wifey. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I remember times when we'd just be in a car talking about shit, and like, there would be things that I kind of was like thinking, like, and I knew how I felt about her, but I wasn't able to articulate that to her.
Right.
Sometimes I would be thinking something to say, and I just couldn't say it. And then like the window would pass. And I'd be like, well, I missed the window to say that, but it's damn near like I chickened out to say it. Like the things that I could have said to her that would have been really important, I had to gather up strength to say important things to her. You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah, 100%.
But then I can go on stage and just
be rapping.
Fluently express to somebody why I'm going to tear their ass up, and why I had feelings of disdain toward them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a creative sort of evolution that needed to take place. And then there also was an evolution as a person that needed to take place in order for me to do an album like Book of Rhyme. But the albums that you just named, all of those albums are just albums that took place as soon as I got sober and started going to therapy. That's all that is. That's literally the difference. Sobriety and therapy versus drunk and unclear. You know what I'm saying? Like, and unintentional. It wasn't intentional.
But they're classics. They're masterpieces.
Thank you, man.
The latest story was evident.
I didn't need to be intentional about rapping, like just rapping about rapping. I didn't need to be intentional to do that. I can do that. I was doing that on cruise control, no problem. You know what I mean? And then I started getting in positions where, like when I got in Slaughterhouse, I needed to start being a little bit more intentional, because my rapping just to be rapping was, you know, putting me in a bad place, because I had somebody that was a little more intentional than I was.
Right.
So that kind of like forced that kind of quality into me. You know what I mean? And it just allows you to look at things and look at all the different ways that you can become complacent if you're not fucking purposeful all the time. All the time.
Be intentional.
So that's kind of like what I'm looking for when I hear these guys saying that they the best. You know what I mean? Just be a little bit more and be a little bit more intentional. Maybe you don't have to go so far in depth, but definitely don't get offended. Like, you know, don't get offended. It's
you, bro, you're the GOAT, dog. You're the GOAT. That's why if it's anybody else, they're going to go, everybody's going to respond different, but you are a monster. You're the boogeyman, bro. And when the boogeyman pulls up and says, oh yeah, you the best. Why? And they know that whatever they say can and will be used against them in the court of rap.
Well, that's the fun part, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, because I mean,
it's the fun part when you're the GOAT. But when you're the guy in the receiving end of having answers for shit, when the GOAT's calling, it's scary, dog. It's scary.
You got your son in boxing. Your son is evolved as a boxer. He's competing.
100.
So you remember when he first walked into the gym, and you know how it goes now. And you know that when they in there, you know, the first time you probably was with him the first time he got in there to spar. Yep. You know, that shit was probably a whole different thing than what it is now. It meant something totally different to him then.
Oh man, the first fight was crazy.
Yeah, now it's like people spar to give each other work. You know, people spar you know, Terrence Crawford, the first time he sparred Shakur Stevenson was like, yo, he beat my ass. He beat the shit out of me, man. I was young, you know, he was teaching me. And then it's like they ask him now, and he'd be like, yeah, we gave each other. I'll just put it like this. We had good work.
Right.
You know, they don't kiss and tell with the whole sparring, with sparring and shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you can tell Shakur he's evolved now. And now when they spar, they're not sparring for anybody to beat anybody's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like he's basically in there with the greatest fighter in the world today. Yep. And it's like, you're not about to whoop on me. We just gonna give each other some work. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and they're gonna leave out of the ring after they're done and thank each other. They're gonna thank each other, and they're not gonna even really think about it, because it's not something, you know, like everybody's so worried about.
It's not to tear each other down. It's to build each other up.
Yeah, it's to build each other up, but there's a mental space that you need to be in. Like there's a comfort zone that comes along with how you approach sparring, and why it's not as big of a deal to you when you're sparring,
right,
versus when you're competing. So, you know, if Cassidy says he's the best, okay, it's a few different ways that can be proven, but let's say if it's like, okay, well, we'll do a song, we'll all do a song together, right? To me, that's like sparring. That's like sparring. That's like making each other better. Anybody can have the best verse, because it's going to be really, really subjective.
Right.
Like getting in the battle ring, that's competing. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. That's a little bit more loaded, because that's when artists start to be worried about how it's going to make them look. And, reputation. You know, like I'm apprehensive about being put in a disparaging or a compromised position.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to be careful with your every move, you know, and I understand that, you know what I mean? And I think that's where a lot of the kind of like paranoid sort of like weird energy at the beginning was, you know, people were just, you know, they didn't understand exactly what it was about to be. And, you know, nobody wants to be the guy who lost something, or the guy who came up with the short end of the stick, you know, competing, you know what I mean? So I 100% get that. You know what I mean? I 100% get that. Here's the kicker about that. I feel like out of everybody that's speaking right now, talking about shit, I feel like I got the most to lose.
100%.
I got the most to lose. I got the most to lose.
Yep.
I think I got the most to lose. You know? If I go to the battle rap space right now and I battle right now, I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna give me Lux or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna try to put me in there. They're gonna find somebody that's problematic.
Yeah, they're gonna send you a killer. They ain't gonna send. They ain't gonna send you no.
That's the only way it could be.
Right.
Nothing else really makes a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean? So that's why I say I got the most to lose. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, listen, I'm gonna be in your corner, and we're gonna ride out. Whatever, if that day comes, we're gonna be there. We're gonna pull up. We're gonna show out, because I know.
Oh, no. I wouldn't. I'm not worried about that. I'm just talking about. Out of everybody that's talking and saying they're the best, the rappers, established rappers saying they're the best, I feel like out of all of those names, I have the most. I got more to 100%. Lose than they do. You know what 100%. I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying that is to say, I feel like I'm the most. I shouldn't be the most willing. I shouldn't be the most willing to like put it on the line. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you the best, and that's gonna come with some sort of context, or, you know, some sort of like, you know, like you fucking clarifying, then yeah, if you want to say you the best and then you got to offer clarification behind it, and shit, that can't be a fun the best. You know? That's not the best. That's not the best seat that Jay-Z sat in.
Yeah, that don't sound very. I believe
he ain't go 15 summers straight clarifying things. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and it's something that's really simple. It's simple. It's really simple. It's not quantum physics. It's something that's easy. It's easy to figure out. It's easy. It's an easy thing to get to. And it's not as confusing and conflated as people think.
Yo, I love this. I love this, Nick.
It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. It doesn't have to be all of these like, yo, who feel away?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? All these
they're blinders, bro. They're trying to
it's like
mirrors, man.
It's like, bro, there's a thing called walking and chewing gum at the same time. Okay. Yeah. Like, I love all of y'all. You know what I mean? I support all y'all. I love what all of y'all are doing. And I don't have to lie to anybody. I don't have to lie to nobody. I don't have to gaslight nobody. I don't have to fucking pretend like things are a certain way because there's some repercussion. Nobody's going to do anything to me. There's no repercussion behind
whatsoever.
Royce the 5'9" telling a lie. I don't have to lie to any man. And there's no reason that I have to like take the scenic route to bring an issue to you if I have one with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no history of doing anything like that or behaving in that manner or, you know, carrying myself in that way.
Right.
I pride myself on being the kind of person that I don't mind. I love coming to a resolve. You know what I mean? Like, and I love communicating. I love narrative.
I just got a message the other day about that, about how you know, how authentic and genuine you've always been at the forefront of any type of situation whatsoever. You know what I mean? I be getting like random messages about you.
I don't like situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't like situations being associated with rap. Like, this rap has nothing to do with all of these feelings these niggas is talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't come involved with all these fucking feelings. You know what I'm saying? And like the gray area, I call it the gray area. You know, like the gray area is something that when you get to a certain age as a man, you should no longer be comfortable existing in the gray area. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Like, there shouldn't be anything that we can't discuss as grownups and come to some sort of resolve, even if we're agreeing to disagree. At least now we know, we have an understanding of where we at, because we got the foundational pillars already. We already know that we are competitive, and we already know that we're all on any given day can wake up and feel like that we're the best. You know what I mean? Like, that's how creativity goes when you subscribe to creative rapping. I mean, to competitive rapping.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So at some point we got to take away the propaganda in the fucking trivial part, the trivial sides, the he say, she say, the
smoke and mirrors,
hating, and, you know, like not really feeling comfortable saluting each other, assuming that, you know, each other doesn't mean each other well. Like, I want nothing but the best for all of my brothers that's in this space. You know what I'm saying? Like, yep. And there's a flip side to that too. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to be everybody's friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean I'm going to be intentional with the respect that I have for you, but it doesn't mean that we got to develop a relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we could challenge each other, we could battle, we could fucking compete, and that doesn't mean we got to be enemies.
Right.
It just means we have to be intentional. Because if we're all on the same page, then all of these things can be done without all of the fucking corny
extra bullshit.
Because I'm not gonna attach my name to anything goofy. Corny. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. The level that I feel like I rap on, and the level of rap that I feel like I represent, like, I don't think it's any room in that space for feelings. You know what I mean? Like, feelings is some shit you deal with in your 20s. You know what I mean? Like, go talk to your fucking mother about your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do this on the highest level right here. We don't have time for other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, blanket Royce.
I mean, it just because I just feel like that's where I am in life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's amazing to me, like, when people still say shit like, yo, so who you got an issue with? or you and such got a problem? What? Like
over some rap shit.
It's almost disrespectful.
Yeah.
To ask me, do I have a problem with somebody because you're confused? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like, bruh.
The last person that should be confusing anybody, like it's you. You're very clear, and listen, very intentional.
Listen,
straightforward.
I'm very intentional and clear about how much I love peace, but I'm just as intentional and clear about how if I got an issue, it is not going to be nothing for nobody to think about. It ain't going to come attached to no cryptic code that you got to learn the fucking password to. It's going to be brief. It's going to be brief, quick, and concise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just the Detroit nigga in me. So that side of me right there, that I could go there, I could go to that place
anytime
and not even feel good about it, because that ain't shit but rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like the evolved journey and the road of trying to figure out new ways to handle shit is the challenge. And that's what I'm up for. Going to that space right there and knocking somebody's fucking head off, that's rock. That's nothing. That's a walk to the park. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing going on in the rap space, entertainment space, in the professional space that I have my feelings attached to that would make me even think about going to that space about anything in this space.
Yo, with that,
especially something that somebody's doing, and now I'm talking about Cassidy, especially something that somebody's doing that I feel is so helpful to the culture.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I've seen that live stream and he was just like, yo, so what is, I don't get it. Like, what is it? And I understood why he didn't get it. You should not get it.
Right.
He was like, I don't get it. What do we got an issue with? You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, moments like that is when I'm very, very particular with the verbiage that's being used. You know what I mean? So I didn't feel a way toward Mickey, but I just felt like when Cassidy was asking him that was a very important question that he was asking him. And like the word,
everybody knew exactly what you were talking about. So
no, everybody didn't. We assumed that. We assumed that we were clear because we all were doing live streams,
right?
All of that, you know what I'm saying? So somebody went and told this nigga Cassidy that I was bringing his name up. I ain't say Cassidy's name.
You didn't say his name once.
I fucking said Cassidy's name one time.
I mean, I know I did. At one point I did, because I remember when he like, it felt like every interview he was doing, which was multiple interviews, where he was like talking about syllable rap. And
yes, but
you dropped something. But I remember I added him in it, and I was like, "Yo, is this the syllable rap you're talking about?" Because I was trying to show him, like, "Yo, look how crazy this is."
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. That's not the problem.
Right.
That's not the problem. The problem is the way the information was being disseminated to him. And like a lot of people don't realize that, like, beefs and like shit like that, they usually escalate due to the input of outside sources that aren't informed.
Right.
I'll give you another example. When I did the Breakfast Club and I spoke on T Grizzly, I said T Grizzly's name, and I spoke on T Grizzly about something involving me wanting to provide him with some information. And just because what I said was misconstrued by somebody who went to tell him what I said and what I meant, what I was implying, and then like they gave him their version of what was being said, and he went straight to his phone and responded to that
without even seeing it,
without even going and looking at it.
Right.
Because he already had the information in his mind.
Right.
So like Cassidy, when he was asking Mickey, he said, I heard niggas was like bringing my name up and shit. Like, what niggas talking about me for? Like, what niggas got an issue with me about? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's being brought back to him, not only that there's an issue, but it's also being brought back to him that niggas is bringing his name up. like Lupe said his name, trolling me. This nigga talking about Cassidy. This whole rant is about Cassidy. I said, no, it's not. But some of the things that he's been talking about during his interviews,
fits.
They're entertaining. They're entertaining. I love his interviews. And when he breaks down the science, when he talks about the science, like there's a whole lot of like pushback that I could get. There's a whole lot of pushback that I could give. And there's a whole lot going on in that world of the science of syllable connecting and syllable piece ups and shit like that. And there's a whole lot of super nerdy scientific conversations being had by other MCs that you may not be aware that we're just as into that shit as you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
instead of that being something that's like, dope that y'all could talk about.
Yeah, but it's like what he's saying, it inspired pieces of what I was saying on Instagram. So like my post, a lot of what I'm saying applies to him and what he's been saying. But I was very, 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 very well documented, and all of those posts were saying that I'm not talking to anybody in particular. And I'm not singling out anybody.
Right. And you've never, and if you were talking to somebody directly,
I would just say his name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I would just say his name. It's no, confusion has never been helpful. I'm not going to go to confusion. I'm not going to go straight to subliminal. Subliminal just causes confusion.
Especially when you're so intentional.
It just causes gray area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like if I'm saying to you, if I'm saying in these Instagram posts that I'm not singling anybody, and the reason why I'm not singling out anybody is because that would imply that I'm excluding somebody. And the bigger point that I'm making is that I kill all of y'all. Every single last one of y'all.
Facts.
But partly why I'm inspired to express this right now is because I've been inspired by a lot of words that Cassidy has been using when he's been bringing energy to the battle rap culture.
Right.
So now it's that hard uphill slippery slope of
misinformation,
expressing my willingness to be competitive, and at the same time also not letting how much I appreciate, respect, and support what he's doing, not letting that get lost in translation because people don't think that the two can go together.
Right.
So like, as soon as he started using the word issue and Mickey let him think it was an issue, because he was like, yo, I don't really know. You had to go look on his page. And I think what Mickey was thinking to himself was, I don't want to speak for Royce, so let me kind of step back and let him do his own due diligence and come to his own conclusion.
Right.
But in that moment, what would have been more helpful, because Mickey appointed himself as the motherfucker who is the liaison between zillion motherfuckers, the least you should have done was, well, I know for a fact it ain't an issue, because not one time did I say I had an issue with anybody. And
I'm looking forward to the Instagram live syllable piece up conversation with you and Cassidy.
Yo, I go by the name of Cassidy the Hustler.
Yo,
we sit, me and Marshall and Denine sitting in the fucking dressing room and we can talk about syllables for hours. And Alchemist, we said talk about syllables for hours, and like to a point where everybody's just kind of looking at us like, all right, y'all just sound like crazy people now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a super fun topic. It's a super fun topic, and it's fun to watch and follow Cass in the battle rap space, because this nigga then took on a whole different persona. It's entertaining to me.
Right.
He didn't act like this when he was with Swiss in him. He never even talked.
Yeah.
All he did was rap.
Yeah.
I didn't hear his voice unless he was barring out. And
Facts.
he came into the battle rap space and just came in and he just added an energy to it. You know
Yo,
what I'm
he
saying?
jumped to the front of the line of being the best person in a face-off.
Yeah, that's like, yo, man. And it's like, you know what, man? Like earlier in my career, I used to hate doing interviews because I just didn't like them, because I just always used to walk out of them feeling like I ain't do a good job. I didn't like the whole thought process of trying to figure out how to open up. You know what I mean? And I learned later that like you become more comfortable with expressing yourself when there's things you talking about, things that you're passionate about.
Right.
Cassidy ain't going up to Hot 97 with Swiss Beats and talking about the science and syllable connecting. You know what I mean?
He gonna rap.
He gonna rap.
He gonna rap.
But sitting with a bunch of other MCs, now he kind of got something to talk about that he's interested in. He's dialed into. So it's bringing out another layer of him that we didn't know was there. Because we all fans, you know, of his raps and shit, you know what I'm saying, since back in the day, you know what I mean? So just seeing that other side is it's dope. It's dope to see that. You know what I mean? So when I seen them using the word issue and me having a problem with something he said in the math interview, I don't even know where the fuck that came from.
Right, right.
And then like just me knowing that there were days that went by where he felt like I was just somewhere mentioning him and having an issue with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it took the fun out of it.
It not only did it take the fun out of it, but it's like it ruined it.
You ruined it, yeah.
It just ruined it because it just it put the connotation to it that I always try to stay away from. You know what I mean? And it's like now I got certain Cassidy fans or just like Philly people or just like young whatever trolls in my comments implying things now that I understand why they would think that what they're implying is believable, because the only thing they have to go off of is what they see rappers doing. And they're accustomed to seeing rappers doing weak shit, punk shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So of course it looks like, you know, like I'm sitting around with feelings about Cassidy because he mentioned Eminem, because that's another thing that people think. I sit around and I just like, as soon as somebody says something about Eminem, I gotta jump out there and just really defend his honor. You know what I mean? Or like I got time to like look at all your interviews and figure out the things I don't like about them, and then sit around and talk about those things publicly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like who, or like, yo, what's up, man? Why you being, what the one little nigga tell me? He said, you ain't the person you portraying, you do that video, apologizing, but then you turn around and then, you take little shots. You ain't the person you portraying. Why don't you quit gaslighting and just say if you want smoke? And it's like, okay, little boy, I understand why you may think that could be a thing, but it's so disrespectful to me for you to imply, first of all, that I need to be gaslighting or
elusive,
or I gotta like figure out some sort of twist to use, about dealing with a fucking rapper. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect to Cassidy, you know what I'm saying? But I have a way that I view rappers, and I think it's the same way I view myself as a rapper. And then I also have a way that I view myself as a man that views, and I have a way that I view men in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
There is no man walking this green earth that I need to tell a lie to, or I need to figure out a way to like figure him out, or like I got to worry about how
walking on eggshells.
Yeah, listen, that's why I'm so intentional about the way I support people and like giving people their props, because I'm not going to stand for disrespect. So I'm not going to allow you to think that I would be willing to even think about disrespecting you.
Right. And
then it's like, and then I'm automatically going to feel a way about other people thinking that I need to like fucking think twice about saying anything to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, like he had to be thinking to himself, like, what the fuck did I say that this nigga got an issue with? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, who in the fuck would think that I got an issue about something that he's doing?
It ruined it because it was, the energy was dope, the whole vibe, the back and forth, the shit talking, the lives, all that shit was fun, and it was intentional, and it was competitive, and it was just a great energy.
I think the energy is still cool. I think it's just a learning curve for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's teaching us something. It's teaching us that there's a way that this has to be done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the fuck shit has to be policed. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, you know, like Cassidy posted a snippet of a joint, like something about watch how you bring my name up or keep my name out your mouth or something like that. And I heard it and I was thinking to myself, like, it sounds like he talking about me. You know what I mean? And like looking at that live stream and what he took from the live stream, what they gave him, he was well within his right to go record that.
Right.
If what they telling him is true, you know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately,
So,
it wasn't.
I think that's something to look at, because what if I didn't see the live stream and like now he think that I'm sitting around talking about him, and then now he go make this record, and then now it get brought to me that he subliminally saying shit about me, and I don't even go to his page and listen to the record, and I just react to that. You know, 2 or 3 more of those moves, and we in Beirut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Cassidy is from Philly. I'm from Detroit. I'm pretty sure a finger or two can get snapped and shit can get
ugly,
really bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm capable of. I know what I could put together. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that he can do something similar or something just as destructive. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God it's not going there though. That's what's up.
Yo, listen. Nothing should go there.
Right.
Nothing should go there. Like the NBA, like LeBron and them, KD, all of them niggas, they the best in the world at playing basketball. You know what I mean? And like they're competitive with each other and they are emotionally attached to winning and losing. But they don't fight each other.
Right.
Because that's just a place that they're not willing to take it, because they already been trained to be professional, because they've been prepped from early, because somebody seen some superstar potential in them early and already prepped them. You see the Floyd Mayweather and Zab Judah fight?
Mm-hmm, of course.
Yeah. Did you see when Floyd went straight to the corner when Uncle Roger jumped in the ring and it was like the big melee, and how calm he stayed?
Of course.
It's like that. That's a natural reaction for him. He's a fighter, but it's like, nah, not under those circumstances.
Right.
This is how I fight. This is what I was put here to do. You know what I mean? So like, I don't want to, no more funerals. No more funerals. No more videos of niggas killing niggas over nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. People can, you know, play fucking hype shit up and all of this shit. No more videos of somebody unconscious. No more videos of somebody punching somebody. No more videos of somebody not being able to have control of their emotions. You know what I mean? Because with this situation, there's no need to even talk about this situation in the context of, well, this is not going to go there, so thank God. Nothing has happened. Like, he hasn't said anything about me. I haven't said anything about him. People are going out of their way to make it something.
Right, to create something.
And that's how they do. And I think that that's something we need to look at.
All of us.
All of us as competitors, that's something that we need to look at. And we need to always make sure that we have a clear pathway to the money. We have a clear pathway to the money, and then a separate from the money, clear pathway to controlling the narrative and making sure that it connects with the audience exactly how we intended for it to. And make sure that we are in control of the culture as it pertains to what the narrative is and what the influence is. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
when one battle rapper punched one battle rapper, that shit turned into another one punching another one and another one punching another one. It became a thing, all in like a quick little, you know what I mean? Because that became like just the cool shit to do in those moments.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's like, you ever seen the battle where the white dude was battling and he said the N-word and, and the black dude jumped in front of him to like have his back and shit like that. I ended up talking to the black dude, and I had to explain to him like why it's important, why it's very important to establish boundaries within our culture. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, have your man's back, have his back, make sure he's safe anywhere y'all at when y'all together, and he should be looking at you the same way. Y'all have each other's back no matter what. But he also needs to understand that him using the N-word is not just disrespectful to the person he battling, it's disrespectful to the culture and you as somebody that's with him. That's a total disregard to how that affects you. And that's only going to happen in your relationship if you've shown him something that says you don't have any regard for it, or that you're okay with it. You don't get to tell somebody that you don't get to okay something like that.
Right.
Because you don't get to speak on behalf of us. Just because you're okay with it don't mean I'm okay with it.
Right.
So if you okay with it and I'm not okay with it, that means now it's me and your problem. Now I got to deal with you, because the white boy gonna do what the white boy gonna do. He wasn't trying to be disrespectful. He was doing what he thought he could do. He was told he was told he had the green light to do. So it's really not his fault. He's uneducated, and it's like, that's why we got to look at it as these are situations, these are teachable moments. These aren't moments that just happen and they go by chance. You know what I mean? Like, we got to learn something from these moments. You know what I mean? Like, I've been seeing Cassidy for 20 years. It ain't never been no type of energy. It ain't never been nothing but respect. You know what I mean? Right. And he's always said he was the best. And there never has been a time where I ain't think I was the best, or I didn't feel like when he said that, I was thinking to myself, well, you ain't better than me. You know what I mean? So it wasn't an issue then. So why would it's not an issue now.
Right.
But the only thing that is different is he's way more intentional about being an active battler. And I'm way more flexible right now. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that's different. Other than that, how I feel about him is the same. If anything, my respect level has elevated more because he's bringing something to the space that I can identify with. I could see it. I could see the results, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? So
I feel like
what?
It's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. And I think more.
If I saw Royce the 5'9" and Cassidy on a poster, wow.
I think all of the established rappers that's capable should consider it. I think right now we in a time right now where corporate and culture is just starting to really catch up with the value that the battle rap space brings. And part of that is due to just the way that the content space is becoming more comfortable with analytics and being able to place value on things. You know what I mean? There's starting to become like a template that's there, and there's like a lot of money that's there. So it's turning it into an environment where all of us independent
MCs.
Nah, but what's the word that I'm looking for? What do you call it when you do multiple jobs?
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurs, but freelancers. All of us independent freelancers, we gotta place value on what it is that the service that we have to offer, and the expertise that we bring into any space. you know, and we gotta know what we're looking at. We gotta have a clear understanding of how things are being monetized, and you know where we sit within all of that. You know, so I think Cassidy has a better gauge than people think that he does in regards to that.
Right.
You know, so the only problem I could see from a business perspective that I can foresee us encountering is just trying to figure out logistically how it could work, money wise, how it could work, what it would take, how can we put on the best show possible and stage the biggest show possible, and when
I love it. I can't
when it could be, and like,
yo, listen to you right now, man. Yo, this is crazy.
It's just like when we set up tours and shit. You know
Nah,
what I mean?
I know, but I'm saying like for me and you have these conversations, we talk all the time. But like for the viewers, I'm putting myself in battle rap, my battle rap mode, you know what I mean? Like even just as a fan of battle rap, and like hearing this, hearing how intentional you are about the idea of jumping in the ring is going to set the world on fire because of how incredible you are at your talent. And you're going to be one of the first, like when I say killers, established killer, I'm excited, and they're hearing it here first on Risk and Reward. I got one more question for you.
There's nothing for you to be excited about yet, though.
Well, I'm excited, but
You excited about
the
us
idea about the idea
about it, but it's nothing.
Right. No, I know that, but I'm saying like just as a battle rap fan, if I'm watching this and I don't know you and I don't talk to you all the time, then I hear and see your energy, this energy and this conversation about possibilities and shit like that. I get excited and I'm losing my mind because
all things are possible. I mean, not even just jumping on the battle rap stage, you know, like everybody ain't a good fit for everybody. You know what I mean? Like Cassidy may look at me like, because I kind of look at Los like that. I don't want to battle Los. You know what I mean? It's just like Los, Daylight. I would take Daylight before Los, but Los, Daylight, Black Thought, it's too. It take me back to like when I was gonna write a diss record about Marshall because he said some shit about me on the record when we wasn't getting along, and it's just like it almost feel like you trying to like figure out a way to write some shit about yourself. You know what I mean? Like when I look at Los, I just see he's just too, his technique, everything is just too familiar. You know what I mean? Like, and I think stylistically, that's like just putting two identical rock'em sock'em robots in front of each other. And they just like hitting fists. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to like involve myself in anything that's gonna be like I'm gonna have to rack my brain about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
I just want to have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not to say I want to take a easier, because it's not like a Los is too hard. It's just it's a different kind of thought that will go into it. That's not my fun thought place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just super technical.
You know, like when you're doing an album, you know, like all of us got our favorite parts of that process. Right. Some of us like starting records, you know, and then some of us fucking cringe when we got to fucking mix and do all of the tedious stuff and approve mixes and like rewrite verses or, you know, call people for features, whatever it is. All of those things take a different part of your thinking process in a different side of your energy, you know, that you don't necessarily look forward to. I don't like the whole feature thing. I don't like that that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like I love it when we talking about somebody you think is dope and you reaching out to him because you feel like y'all can make some good shit together.
Yeah.
But I hate the fact that it became a thing. Like,
Like an excessive thing.
It's like, if you don't have features, that's like a fucking
Weird.
a press release.
Yeah.
Yo, he just did an album with no features. He just did a
I
show.
used to hate when people used to ask me if I got a project I'm putting out. They say, "Oh, who's on it?"
Who you got on it?
Me.
Just like if you're doing a show,
bro.
like if you're doing a show, who you bringing out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like that part of the process, I don't enjoy that part of it because there's nothing, I don't like anything about it.
Right.
The only good that comes out of it is that a feature happens.
Right.
But other than that, it's stressful. I don't like thinking like that. I don't like the anxiety I get sitting there.
So that's what the space you would get in.
Los is the anxiety.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because listen. I have a very, very large collection and different arrays of tools. I have a specific set of skills, right?
Yeah.
That, like, because Los is younger than me, and because I can look at Los and I can see the areas that he hasn't tapped into yet, and I know that he's nowhere near as good. I'm closer to as good as I'm gonna be than he is as good as he's gonna be. So he's not gonna beat me in anything. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, this Royce is.
But that don't mean that it won't be stressful. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, 100%.
Like I just out rap Black Thought for the first time since we've been knowing each other. That shit took me 6 years.
Talk that shit.
And I tried to out rap him on Prime. I couldn't do it. So, I mean, it just is what it is sometimes. You know what I mean? But when we did the Toby record, I wasn't thinking about out rapping him. It happened like that.
Right.
And he wasn't thinking about out rapping me.
And
Sometimes
you guys both snapped.
Sometimes it just be like that. You know what I mean?
Yo, I got a question for you. And this is now, this risk and rewards is going to now be a 2-part risk and rewards because we're going on 2 hours.
You talk too much.
No, yo, this is my question for you. You're the coach.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rap apocalypse happening, and you got to pick 5 people that are on your team. You're the coach.
MCs?
5 MCs you got to pick to save the world in the rap apocalypse that's going down. Who's the 5 people you're picking off the top of your head right now?
The rap apocalypse?
Yeah, it's just like the world's gonna end if you don't pick 5 people to say. Who's your Avengers?
5?
Yeah.
Including myself?
Nah, you're the coach.
Oh, okay. Black Thought, King Los, Crooked Eye, Marshall, Kendrick Lamar. But I mean,
if you want to sub, pick a sub.
We could save the world. We could save any planet with those people that I just named. But I would love some other people who do other things, like Drake.
But I'm talking like rap, like lyricism, barring the fuck out. This saves the planet. Black Thought, King Los, Crooked Eye, Marshall, and Kendrick. Wow.
I mean, we don't even need Marshall. We don't even need him, because.
So let's sub him out then. Who are you subbing him out to?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was talking about, different styles. Because when you name all of us, you just named 4 parts Marshall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need Marshall.
Yeah.
So like, I think we talking about active right now, or we just talking about period?
Man, pick your 5, bro. You gotta pick yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, you giving me that. Well, Jay-Z is the greatest rapper of all time. I'm not debating that with nobody. So
Same.
you can't have a fight in the world without Jay-Z.
Right.
So you gotta have Jay-Z. You need
That's your 5.
You need Jay-Z.
Yep.
You need Jay-Z. You need Jay-Z. Big. See, listen. A lot of people think that Jay-Z, like, everything about him is birthed from Big. I disagree with that. I think he is inspired by a lot of things that Big brought to the table. And I think he was motivated by a lot of Big's tools and how evolved he was at such a young age. But there's things that Big did in terms of the way that he existed in the pocket that nobody can do. Nobody can do. Like going from Ready to Die to Life After Death, his vocal growth, evolution from one album to the next is the most incredible. Catastrophic evolution that we have ever witnessed.
Yeah.
He was literally here. He went from here to here.
Bro, I was listening to Victory. I was listening to Victory the other day. Oh my God.
Yo, that nigga Big sound like he sounds so comfortable.
He sounded like the boss. Like
he was
like the leader.
His vocal performance. Let's not even talk about the lyricism, the stories, the beats. Let's just talk about his execution, his vocal performance. Sound like he was in a lawn chair in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Every performance was perfect.
Yeah.
It sounded like he was in a lawn chair and his
the most comfortable shit ever.
It sounded like his engineer was fucking cutting his vocals from the Star Trek Enterprise. Dog, everything was perfect.
Yeah.
Everything was perfect. Every approach was perfect. Every tone was perfect.
I wonder what song Puff told him to rewrite multiple times.
Could have been anyone.
But we got to get Puff on Risk and Rewards. What up, Puff? We need to get Puff on Risk and Rewards to come on here and tell us which Big song he made. Like, which is the most, the biggest Big song that Puff was like, nah, write that again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did it to you, right? He's done it to a few people. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure his criteria is probably different when he just executive producing somebody else's album.
Yeah, true.
That's writing a verse for themselves.
I've heard the stories about him being like that a lot.
Yeah, he a great producer.
Yeah, exactly.
He a great producer. I don't think he get the credit that he deserves for that.
Absolutely. Yo, listen, this is now a 2-part Risk and Rewards. Royce,
is it gonna be you gonna have my mink blanket in it?
You said what?
You gonna have my mink blanket in it?
No, we're gonna CGI that out of here, man. Mink blanket Royce.
Listen, bro.
Is about that smoke.
Make that shit 3 parts. You need 1 part for my mink blanket.
Facts. Yo, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing these gems, these jewels, and these positive risks and these negative ones. Everybody, everybody knows where to find you. I've already put it up on the screen. Thank you for being here. Everybody, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment about Royce's mink blanket.
I'm only wearing this because I keep my studio cold as hell. So
disclaimer.
I'm sitting right under the air.
Yo, but this has been another episode of Risk and Rewards. Royce, Nickel 9, thank you very much.
My brother, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Salute.